Bernard Hollywood Williams, host of Stay in Your Lane. How you doing, good sir?
I'm doing splendid.
Excellent. Only a splendid. No. That's not my. That's not my B-Dub.
brothers.
This is an imposter. I need the real B-Dub energy this morning. What's going on, brother? How are you?
All right. I am doing fantabulousism.
That's what I'm looking for.
There it is.
Fabuloso, my
There it
friend.
is.
Fabuloso, my friend. Help us finish off a couple of topics. By the way, do you guys like the show on HBO Last Week Tonight with John Oliver? Do you guys ever watch the show?
It's like Daily Show.
Like the Daily Show, but the HBO version. Bernard, you watch this show at all? Do you watch John Oliver?
No, I'm not familiar.
He's like a Daily Show. He's more of a liberal type of show, but they go through some of the recent news topics over the course of the week. I think it's a weekly show they do on HBO. But when he dives into a topic, man, he researches deep. And that's the thing I always respect about John Oliver. Brings out some very cool and interesting topics, and always makes you aware of some cool stuff. Has a special offer. Wants to make a very special hire. John Oliver would like to hire the Philly Fanatic. Wants to give the guy a job. And wants to give the real original Philly Fanatic a job. Here's the deal. 35 years ago, the Philly Fanatic was created. And the creators sold the copyright to the Philadelphia Phillies for $250,000. Here you go. It's yours to give. Well, guess what? Copyright laws in this country say that after 35 years, the copyright comes up for renewal. So essentially this can go back to the original creators, that they can get the copyright rights back after 35 years. So now the Philadelphia Phillies have a couple options. They can let this go, or they can make a new deal. Well, now the Philly Fanatic is big deal, huge, famous. It's not worth just $250,000 today. Philly Fanatic is probably worth millions, you would think, right? So the Philadelphia Phillies, they've been using a knockoff Fanatic. So everyone
This whole time?
Not this whole time. Recently.
Oh.
So apparently the new Fanatic is the Philly Fanatic has been very known for the honker, which is the conical nose on the front of the mascot costume that has a little tongue that squeaks out. Well, now it's more of a cylinder, and for whatever reason they've added these Astro logo looking eyes, stars around the eyes of the Philly Fanatic. They really just make him look like he had a bad night of drinking. So these slight changes do help the Phillies avoid the copyright, but this character has served you well for 35 years. So thank goodness John Oliver willing to step up. He says, listen, we've spent a lot of money on this show, and we've spent money on stupider things than this. We are willing to put the Philly Fanatic on staff. All the credit to John Oliver for giving the Fanatic a job, but boo to the Phillies. That's been your boy for 35 years. How you going to do him wrong, right, Bernard?
Right. I'm actually familiar. I'm looking at his picture. I'm familiar with this guy. I just didn't know his name.
A blue tail
John
now?
Oliver.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you got to remember, man, look, unless you win a championship recently, people do not care. They don't. They will. The same fans that go out and buy your jersey when you win a championship are the same fans that will burn your jersey the minute you go to Miami or something like this. And then when you come back and win another chip, then they got to get a new jersey. That's just how it is in the game.
That's true. This is true. You've probably seen a lot of these stories about the NFL. The players voting on the new collective bargaining agreement. The collective bargaining agreement that was signed in 2011 only has one more year left on it before it expires. They're trying to get a new deal done. The owners are kind of trying to rush this through, and it feels like they're trying to get one past the players, using phrases like non-negotiable, a 17th game in the schedule, in which the players would be actually paid less money for that 17th game. Messing with the roster sizes, adding a playoff game, things like that. Players want to see the league continue. Obviously, they want to keep their jobs. And so initially, a lot of these guys voted yes. But then some of them started to either read the 456-page document or have somebody that they trust read this 456-page document, have a lawyer read it, and tell them what it actually said. And now players are saying, listen, I voted yes for the new CBA, but now that I've got more information about it, I would like to change my vote to no. Well, now they're not letting – should these players be allowed to change their vote is my question to you, Bernard. Once your vote has been cast and it's counted – then you get new information, and this can be in any scenario, whether this is for voting for a CBA, whether this is voting in an election. Should you ever be allowed to change your vote?
Nope.
Yeah, you had your time.
That's the problem. That's why I don't vote.
Well,
because I'm ignorant. Like, if I don't know what's going on and I don't have the full picture of what I'm voting for, we have a problem, you know. So once I do decide to vote, that's what it is. That's what I did. That's the knowledge I have. Like, we can't just go wishy-washy depending on, you know, what knowledge you didn't read from the first time or somebody else influences. Then we'll have a bunch of people just changing their votes all over the place. What good is a vote if you could just change and switch it up?
I'm with you. And it's not like this was information that was not available to them. You know, they send you the document just because you didn't read it, and then you cast your vote, and then after you cast your vote, then you read it, and you're like, wait a minute, I voted the wrong way. No, that's on you. You had ample time to do your due diligence. Colin, before we get out of here, who's the beast of the day?
It's a very unlikely beast today. The Knicks scored 41 bench
The
points.
who?
The Knicks. The New York Knicks.
Okay.
Their bench.
You know why? Do you know why?
Why?
Because Spike Lee probably wasn't there.
He wasn't getting in their ear.
Well, the Knicks scored 41 bench points in the first half of the game against the Wizards last night. Their most in the first half of a game over the last 20 seasons. The Knicks suck, but I still love them.
Your beast of the day. Bernard, before we get out of here, let me ask you this question. With Chris Paul's agent taking over as president of the Knicks, are we eventually going to see Chris Paul become a Knick?
I don't know. He's probably already considered a Knick.
He might be.
Wink.
He might be. Bernard, we always appreciate you being a part of the show. Thanks so much for tuning in. The morning show. We will be back tomorrow.